Hey Gemini, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. We take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength here, check your other major placements. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it helps other people find the channel and it makes me very happy. All right, Gemini, what do we have for you? Oh boy, this is beautiful. Okay, all right. Alrighty-dighty. Oh, interesting. All right. So we have, so we're starting with the Oracle decks for an intuitive vibe, and then we'll move on to a more traditional spread here with a more traditional tarot deck. So in the Oracle decks, Moonology and Work Your Light, we have Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? And Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. What? So it almost looks like this girl is right in the middle of here. This is you being sort of a conduit for information, a link in the chain of faith, of belief, of spirituality. You're both learning and you're teaching, and at the same time, moving that information forward through the line of I don't know what kind of line it is, like through the chain of how we pass this stuff forward through time and this information. So you're sort of being a conduit for information, for spiritual information, for some kind of teaching. You might be teaching, both learning and teaching. Both of these reference priestess, so male or female. I mean, this definitely looks like being in a space of connection, having some sort of divine guidance to offer. And we don't want to offer that like, I'm offering you divine guidance right now because I'm so special. I'm several rungs ahead of you, but we're just it's a privilege to be able to share something with someone that might help them on their way, to be able to be a conduit for that amassed information or that spiritual healing or spiritual something. We're not on rungs. I don't view it that way. I think that's really destructive. We're not on rungs. We're on different paths, and sometimes our paths can cross and weave and I keep seeing DNA here, but sometimes our paths can cross and weave with each other, but we're at different points, right? None of us are going in a straight line, actually climbing some sort of ladder up, and different people have different information about different parts. So it looks like at this point you're being some sort of conduit for to help humanity with some sort of wisdom that you've gained. Or receiving that wisdom. You may be in contact with somebody that's going to be bequeathing something to you. The Sisterhood of the Rose, that's what it means to me always, is like both learning and giving and being part of that flow of connection and deep psyche healing and growth. So, and then we have prosperity lies ahead. So this is really cool. New moon in Taurus. So, just looking at the card, it's some sort of strong 3D new beginning here that's going to lead you to a really beautiful place of prosperity and abundance and heading in that direction of prosperity and abundance. And it could be related to this spirituality or a spiritual practice or teaching or something like that. All right, Gemini, what do we have here? I've never received that message before, actually, so that's kind of interesting to me. All right, Gemini. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Fascinating. Okay, in your recent past, I love this, seeing this page here, because it's, this Sisterhood of the Rose, as far as like learning something. The page is our learner, our student, our freshman, our college student, our intern. This is someone that's got some curiosity about something, taking a closer look. You may have gotten an intuitive hit about something, or something just kind of grabbed your attention and your curiosity, and you got out your magnifying glass and took a closer look. What is this? What is this intuition about? Or what is this, wands or sexuality, intuition, creativity. So you've been learning about something, gaining some knowledge, some wisdom, or just inspecting closer what your intuition's telling you. Some sort of intuitive hit, intuitive vibe, and looking into it a little further. It's caught your attention, and you have responded appropriately by looking a little closer. That's exactly what it was meant to do, is make you look a little closer at what is this and what's going on. So curiosity piqued, trying to find out, wanting to learn more about something and asking a lot of questions, really questioning something and inspecting something, maybe some sort of intuition, maybe it could be something spiritual here that we're referencing in this priestess and sisterhood of the rose, meditation, yoga, any of those. There's also all the major religions have some kernels in them that are really important to look at and inspect, and some kernels of truth that give them their longevity and their far reach, and are what attract a lot of people to them. So there's some truth there. There was some sort of something there that caught your attention that you wanted to look at more. In your current situation, you have the Death card. This has got to be the most beautiful death card I've ever seen. Well, I don't know. They're all so beautiful, but this one's really gorgeous. But it really captures that, we're all here to eventually feed the worms. We're living our lives in service of the worms that will eventually eat our bodies. Just worm food is all it is. But that's sort of the whole thing, is this death. This death has to occur for a new life. It's not like some sort of like rule that was put on. It's just the way it is. It is the way. So this death card, growing something new. So it's a major change. It's a major arcana. It's the 8th card, and it's all about letting something go, the end of a cycle, the end of a situation, but it allows a new situation to emerge, right? Like a breakup now allows you to date again, or find a better relationship, a better fit for you, and allows new growth. So, if everyone who had ever lived had never died, we would really be even more crowded than we are on this little planet. So it's necessary for new life and for progress and for things to move forward, both in larger cosmic senses and also in our personal lives. So you're going through some sort of transformation, some sort of change. That caterpillar is dying so that the butterfly can live. So there's something new coming in. But right now you may just be very focused on a loss, on an ending, on something that's not working, not alive anymore. In your inner landscape, here's this Hanged Man energy. This is your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, Hanged Man. You might be worried that you're stuck, that you're not growing, you're not progressing, that you're stuck in this ending, and how did you get here, and what's going on. You may be concerned about being sort of on a time out, that nothing's moving forward, that you're not changing, that you're not growing, that this death is the end, and now you're just going to be stuck. These building blocks of your life are just going to be stuck in the ground and contained in the dirt. Your molecules are going to dissolve, and there's just nothing new is ever going to come in, and that time is going to stand still here in this place of loss, or in this place of deadness, of things not coming to life. You may be, in some sort of pause, as we exhale. We can compare that to the death, the exhale, and then there's a pause before we inhale again and before the new thing starts. So you may be concerned about that pause, that the pause is going on too long. Did you just take your last breath in a way? Or is there another one coming? So there's a pause here, or you're worried about a pause, or you're worried about being stuck in a situation, or the whole situation being stuck. You may also be worried that something, what did you do to cause this? Did you do something to cause this? Because the Hanged Man in reverse, all the blood is rushing through their head. And typically in a lot of other placements in this spread, I would be talking about, it's a time out, everything's jammed while the external, while the zipper's jammed here. It's time for you to get the cogs moving up here and thinking about what you did, how you got to where you got, what lessons you can learn here. It's not necessarily a guarantee that the zipper will start moving again if you learn the lessons, but it is sort of a... It is, a moment to take an opportunity, take advantage of, as far as like, okay, let's take a breather here and actually think about, what are the choices we made? What did we do? How do we get out of the situation? So you may be thinking about that, or worried about being stuck here. So in what's at issue here is this reverse sun card. So there hasn't been a lot of clarity here. There hasn't been a lot of, there might be some negativity. A lack of healing, right? So we're experiencing this death, this end of something, and we're worried that we're stuck. Maybe because we're not seeing the healing, we're not seeing maybe the positivity come back. If you have a down day or a down week or a down winter or year, you might not be seeing, when is it going to turn? When is it? There's not a lot of optimism here, because we're having this ending or something that's, I want to say it's dead, like it's a stasis. It's not a stasis, but it feels like a stasis. Like something's ended and now we feel like that's like where we're at now, is at the ending, not acknowledging that a new beginning must come in. Those are the rules. So not the rules, but that's the way, that is the way. Once something ends, something new, and maybe there's a pause there, but then the new breath has to come in. And so we may not be feeling very positive about that, very hopeful about that, or even the healing hasn't begun yet. There's been some sort of loss, some sort of ending, and the healing hasn't begun yet, or there's just not a lot of clarity here. You're just not seeing very clearly what this is all about or what's going on here. So in your environment, you have the Temperance card. This might be an answer. I mean, there's the Hanged Man, the Temperance card, and the Sun in reverse all tells me that things are settling. The mud is settling in your environment. There's something that needs to kind of settle down. People's emotions need to settle down, settle in. There's a sense of allowing in a very natural way for things to come in together. It's sort of a protected space for emotions to become more palatable, easier to work with. It's sort of a protected space where two different ideas or two different modes of being or two different vibes can kind of start getting used to each other. She's typically depicted as a bartender, sort of, where she's mixing the bitters and the simple syrups, things that we wouldn't necessarily just drink on our own. They're being mixed in a way that makes them more palatable, easier to handle, and more enjoyable. You want this process. We so often get impatient. We want to rush forward to the next thing. We want to take that next breath in, and we like starting things, we like new things, but this is saying, like, you're gonna like this a lot more if you just let divine timing. And Temperance to me reminds me of divine timing, but the kind you have to be patient for, not the kind that's rushing ahead. But there's some patience here while things sort of settle out, while sort of things behind the scenes get worked out, while the drink gets mixed. You have to wait for your drink to get mixed. And you don't know what's going on behind the bar. Maybe, they want to make sure you get some fresh lemon juice, but the lemons are in the back, and so you may be waiting for a while, but it's all in service of making something better than it would be if you just got a bunch of fresh ingredients. It reminds me of, like, how sometimes your soup can taste so much better the next day because the flavors have really had a chance to marinate and commingle in there. So that's a little bit of this Temperance card. There's something in your environment, it's going to be better if it's cooled down a bit, or if the flavors mingle a little more, or if it gets shaken up nicely. Like, it's going to be better. And so there's something in your environment that's doing this process, but I think it has you feeling stuck or worried that you're stuck. And worried that you're not moving forward. But it's just a sort of letting the mud settle kind of vibe here. And then your to-do list. This has shown up in like 3 readings this week. And I love it because it's combined with this prosperity lies ahead. We've got basically this King of Pentacles. This is your to-do list, or opportunities to... you're looking for opportunities to employ this attitude, this vibe, this tone, right? So we've got this seasoned buck here with his fully developed rack, his coins, his solid investment, and there's a lot of trust here. There's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of confidence that he's got this, that he knows what he's doing, that he has what he needs. A lot of confidence in all of the work that he's done, in the way that he's gone about building his empire. There's been a lot of planning and a lot of, there's a word I'm looking for, but a lot of planning and and the king is manifested. So he's achieved something, and he stands there in complete confidence on what others may feel is precarious situation, but he's in full confidence that he's earned this. He's earned his money. He's earned his position. He's earned what he has. And I'm loving it with this new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. The King of Pentacles doesn't have a doubt that his savings and his investments are going to return to him. He has no doubt about that. He knows. This card has so much confidence, and it's a very grounded confidence. So I think what you're looking for is the things that you've invested in, the things that you've put a lot of time and money and energy in, and having a lot of confidence that those are going to bear fruit, even though they're not right now. And the King of Pentacles is very patient. He's in for the long haul. He's not a get-rich-quick scheme. He's not a let's solve this really quick. He's planning for the long term because he knows he's going to be here for a while. He's not going to, die at 27. He's not going to, he knows he's living to 97. So he's planning accordingly for a long haul here. So that's what you're doing is you may be feeling impatient, maybe frustrated at being stopped in some sort of part of the cycle that's unpleasant, where there hasn't been the healing yet. But I think you need to come into confidence, looking at the long game, looking at your investments of time and energy, and feeling confident that those are going to pay off. They will pay off. So, the King of Pentacles just has so much confidence in in the work that he's done, and he knows what's coming to him, and he's not worried about the future at all. He has invested wisely, and he knows what he's worth too. So, and then we have in your possible outcome, we have the Magician, being able to bring something into the 3D. So these 3 cards right here are all harmonizing very nicely here. We have this prosperity, we have this confidence in this prosperity, and then we have this ability to bring it into fruition, to manifest something. I mean, when I was talking about this, the king is the manifested career man, time, energy, money person, right? Very confident, very realized, very confident in their future, no worries about the future whatsoever. They're very confident in their investments. And from that confidence, you'll be able to make something happen. You'll be able to bring something to fruition. So you're worried that you're stuck. You haven't hit sort of the healing part yet. I mean, this has a lot of major arcana. You have the death card as far as like going through a major transition, the Hanged Man in your fears. You're worried you're stuck here. The Sun in reverse. You haven't seen the results yet. You're not feeling very optimistic. You haven't seen, the healing hasn't happened yet from this death here, but then we've got Temperance and we've got the Magician. So Temperance is just, there's something in your environment that has you sort of on hold. The mud's settling here, but you are going to come into being able to bring something to fruition, being able to resurrect from this death cycle, from this being able to grow something, build something. And the energy that gets you there is the King of Pentacles energy, the self-confidence, this confidence in the work that you've done, in what you do have, and in that your investments will be paying off. And then for the Wild Kuan Yin, we have Abundant Harvest. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of abundance in this card. Good fortune granted. Just as there are physical seasons upon the earth, the soul too goes through its seasons. I'm seeing the Death card here. Spring in the soul heralds a time of birth, new ideas, new inspirations, new energy to take action, new life, new connections, new gifts abound. New life and good fortune are headed your way. Well, that's lovely. We've got prosperity lies ahead. We've got the Magician here. And I think that this is just underscoring the type of vibe you need to be bringing right now, which is that you've got this, this confidence in your investment. It comes under this Death card. So it's a confidence in the new life and all the new stuff coming in. It's going to be coming in. You're just worried right now that it might not be. All right, Gemini, I hope that was helpful for you, and I hope you have a great week.